Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here as we update you on the latest goings on as Ida moves into the northeast. And you can see the stream of clouds with this storm system moving up through the Appalachians and into New England. We're going to have varying weather conditions from place to place, so I'm going to try to go into this piecemeal for everybody. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 631-756-1125 is the phone number for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com, the website. And Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini, your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, New York. Their number is 631-957-5106, and the website is liholidaylighting.com. I think the two main risks with this are rain and severe weather. Unlike other tropical storms that we've had move up the coast, if you think back to last year, Isaias, the setup here is different. So widespread wind is not an issue, but we do have to concern ourselves with severe weather that develops. And those severe thunderstorms, when they pop up late this afternoon and tonight, could certainly produce some wind gusts of 50 miles an hour or more. And there is a relatively high risk of tornadoes, which is something we don't see too often here. Maybe once or twice a season, we get a day or two where there's tornado risk. And usually it's in the order of 2%. Every once in a while, it runs up at about 5%. Well, this is very rare. We have a 10% risk of tornadoes. The northern flank of that is probably along or just north of Route 195, down into southeast and southernmost parts of south central Pennsylvania, into adjacent Maryland. Just about all of Maryland except the western part of the state is in that 10% risk zone. And then you have a larger 5% risk that runs right along the southern New England coast to just north of New York City, into northern New Jersey, about near where Route 80 is, and then cutting down southward into south central PA, and then turning southward down into Virginia. So we want to really pay attention to that. The overall risk is enhanced for the area that we have the 10% risk and a slight risk of severe weather for the areas that have a 5% tornado risk. And just north of that, by the way, in the marginal risk, there is a 2% chance that there could be a spin up. And whenever you have these tropical systems in their late stages here where they're transitioning over into a non-tropical storm, you certainly could have spin ups. Now, the track here, we've been saying for days that the track here has been so very important in terms of the outcome. And I've been using I-95 as the kind of the line in the sand here. If you're south and east of I-95, so for example, if you're on Long Island, if you're in New Jersey, Delaware, down the Delmarva Peninsula into eastern Virginia, you'll notice that your radars are not really all that active. There's some showery rains over parts of Long Island and points east and offshore. And then you have to go back down to what will probably be right in here. This is going to wind up becoming a developing squall line of thunderstorms as we go through the afternoon and evening. So for this zone, not much is going to be happening during the afternoon hours. We're going to probably have to wait till about after 7 o'clock tonight for things to rev up. In the meantime, going north and west of I-95, it's a different situation. And when we look back into southwest, south central PA, on up into northeastern PA, now getting into northern New Jersey, the Hudson Valley, particularly north of Route 84, and on up into Connecticut. Here we're seeing pretty much a continuous moderate to heavy rain. That's going to go on all afternoon, and then it's going to wind up getting enhanced in a big way as we move into this evening. So let's jump over now to the HRRR model, because I think this probably it's sort of an average of what the other ones are doing. No one's going to get it exact here, but you get the idea. I've kind of set the table for you with regards to what to expect. Now, going into tonight, here we have this is at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we're doing this is now 10 minutes before 1 o'clock. And I'm going to make sure I've got the latest run. And here we go. So this is the latest run of the HRRR. Looks like it might be running a little bit behind today, but here it is. it doesn't exactly match up well with the radar, but it's not doing a bad job. But take a look where the low is in West Virginia. You're going to start to see, of course, with all this daytime heating that's going on from central New Jersey on southward, you have dew points in the 70s and very, very high levels of instability in the atmosphere going all the way up. Suddenly, as we go into the mid and late afternoon, this is at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Notice in south central, southeastern PA down into Chesapeake Bay, looks like a vicious line of thunderstorms and an expanding area of heavy rains through Pennsylvania, which by 7 o'clock tonight covers all of northern New Jersey. And again, the turnpike might be the line in the sand. South and east of there's not very much. As of 7 o'clock, not much going on Long Island, but really getting clobbered there in the eastern half of Pennsylvania, northwest New Jersey, and starting to get into the Hudson Valley. Here's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now here's where coastal areas are going to start to see the thunderstorms that are going to be developing here as the low goes by. And this is what could produce, for the coast anyway, up to a couple of inches of rain. Maybe the upside will be up to about 3 inches at the top, because we're not seeing it. Coastal areas are not getting into this continuous rain area that's going on to the north. So these storms could be severe. Again, the risk there, and I'm pretty sure there will be a few spin-ups here, that we are going to see a couple of tornadoes out of this. And maybe even more than a couple when you look at all the geography involved. When we get to 2 a.m., it's mostly now on the coast. Heavy rains are starting to push eastward. The heaviest thunderstorms are over eastern Long Island. The back edge is almost to New York City. By 5 a.m., it's just about gone in most of eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England. In southeastern New England, it's going to go on into the morning hours, heading up into daybreak before finally pulling out there. So the worst of this really for areas south and east of 195 is going to be after 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. For everybody else, it's just going to be continuous rain, and then it only gets worse as we get into the evening and into the overnight hours. Again, no widespread wind, but there are going to be, in these severe thunderstorms, there will be local gusts of 50 miles an hour or more. We have a compromised ground that's soaking wet, so it wouldn't take much to take a tree down, especially some of the older trees. So just bear that in mind. And of course, with the rainfall that we're talking about here, which will be on the order of 6 inches or more, you're going to see rivers fill up very quickly, the flooding threshold very low. We're already seeing flash flood warnings being put out in parts of Pennsylvania where it's been raining for most of the day so far. WPC has a high risk of flash flooding in much of Pennsylvania, the northern portions of New Jersey, again, north and west of the Turnpike, the lower and middle Hudson Valley, and then into Connecticut, along and south of Route 84. The moderate risk of flash flooding for New York, for New York City, is just kind of on the edge of that. Long Island to the east, and that moderate risk. Central and South Jersey, the moderate risk, down into Maryland and Virginia. And this is going to be more convectively driven. So there's going to be a lot of variation in terms of what winds up being the total rainfall. And just for laughs, I'll just bring up the HRRR's rainfall forecast. And you see how streaky it all is? That's the convective nature of it. You've got pockets here of 7-8 inches of rain being indicated in some of these streaks across southern Connecticut, into northern New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. And then kind of in between that, you've got some areas, some little streaks where somebody winds up with less than an inch. So again, when it gets convective, you're going to see variations like this. And the low tracking just inland of the coast at least relieves some of the coastal areas of anything really excessive as far as rainfall amounts are concerned. The inland areas are going to have a much tougher time of it when it comes to the heavy rains. And lastly, let's look at something positive. Let's look at the Labor Day holiday weekend, which we are all, I'm sure, looking forward to, because the last two holiday weekends, Memorial Day and the 4th of July, were not exactly picture perfect weather-wise. If I remember Memorial Day correctly, the whole weekend was pretty much a disaster. But Here we go. This pulls out. Big high pressure builds in. We're going to have a really beautiful air mass coming in during the day tomorrow on northerly winds. Dew points are going to collapse. Temperatures are only going to be in the low 70s. Friday's going to be a sunny day with temperatures probably primarily between 70 and 75 for Friday. And for Saturday, we'll have sunshine most of the day. Highs will probably be in the mid to upper 70s. As far as any rain is concerned, there's a little weather front that's coming through early on Sunday morning, just a little bit of a warm front. So maybe some showers overnight Saturday night, and maybe a shower or storm again late in the day on Sunday or Sunday night. But other than that, it looks okay. And then we'll go to some dry weather conditions for Monday, Labor Day. Humidity will come up a little bit on Sunday, but not by a lot. And then the humidity will come back down on Monday. And next week, in terms of any kind of important weather events, there's another front coming through along about Wednesday. And if you look on the lower right, you can see the western edge of Hurricane Larry, which should recurve out to our east, based on what I'm seeing with respect to the weather pattern going through next week. So with that in mind, Weather in 5 brought to you by Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini, your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst. 631-957-5106 is the phone number there, and the website is liholidaylighting.com. And also brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com is the website there. So as we continue to watch the evolution of all of this stuff that we're getting this afternoon and tonight, the reminder that tonight's Joe and Joe Weather Show will be live at 7:30 Eastern Time, and we'll be probably right in the thick of it all as far as the worst of this before the system finally pulls away to the overnight. So that's tonight on my YouTube channel at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.